No matter the place, no matter the time, we sending the vibes cause your music unites. Keep it aside, yeah we loving the ride. And take it a stride cause we here to preside. Manifest the best when we put it to test. We always come back to rest when we open our chest. Manifest our destinies, releasing all the best of me. Manifest to make it happen by our power fastest. No matter the place, no matter the time, we sending the vibes cause your music unites. Keep it aside, yeah we loving the ride. And take it a stride cause we here to preside. Manifest the best when we put it to test. We always come back to rest when we open our chest. Manifest our destinies, releasing all the best of me. Manifest to make it happen by our fastest. Actor, player, jokes the conveyor of many life's factors. Remove all the layers, bust up the center, be our own mayors. Govern ourselves cause we be the law sayers. Smile is free, nothing required to eat. Sending out the energy that's positive. See, think logically, we're growing leaves on the trees. Our family keeps us moving, building blocks of beauty.
Semi-final Match 1. Zest. Road. 2021 GSL Season 3. Codex. Africa TV Free Cup Studio Live. 2021 GSL Season 3.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the round of 4, day 1 of the GSL CODES Season 3. It's going to be quite a night, Artosis. We've got Zest versus Rogue.
Yes, indeed we do. A wonderful round of 4 match, a best of 7 coming at you between the best Zerg and the most accomplished Protoss.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be a good one. I'm excited. I want Zest to be able to do it, but obviously Rogue has never lost a best of 7 tasteless.
Yeah, look, I'm hoping it's going to be close, and honestly, I'm hoping that we could see Zest advance, but all signs basically point to this probably being a Rogue victory.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as Dark fell, it was like, all right, we Rogues got 4 championships. That's so
Yeah.
sick. Because it just doesn't seem like anyone can take him out at this stage. He's just so good at best of 7s. Literally, he's never lost one ever, and he's won so many tournaments. It's crazy.
Yeah, if you were to have to basically pick one player to win every time, Rogue would be the safest bet.
He would be.
You know, he's by far the most accomplished.
This is over a 4-year span, by the way.
Yeah, over an extremely long period of time. Rogue's been untouchable, but times do change, and we'll see what Zest has prepared for us here tonight.
You say times change, but Rogue's result tells me that time is a flat circle, tasteless. Yeah, he's going to be going up against Zest, and of course on Thursday we're going to see Trap versus Kira, which is kind of like a fun surprise that Kira's playing out of his mind once again.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen that level out of him, but he is back, and I'm excited to see what he can do against Trap.
Yeah, I do wonder. I think Trap versus Cure should be a pretty good one. Cure looked very strong. Trap, I think a Trap Rogue finals is the most likely thing. If we had
it's
to
the
bet.
most likely thing, but personally, I want to see Cure Rogue.
Cure Rogue would be a lot of fun,
Yeah,
actually, and I think that could be quite close. I do have a hard time envisioning Trap beating Rogue. This might be one of the, out of all the GSL seasons we've had, this Final Four might be the most predictable.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe,
I think it's probably going to be Trap Rogue in the finals, and I think Rogue wins there too. But I welcome surprises.
Yeah, maybe it's a Zest Cure finals where
Yeah.
Cure holds off a bunch of Zealot all-ins and wins. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see, man. But look, both these guys extremely accomplished, and Zest, look, I mean, he's a real threat as a Protoss player. The problem is that Rogue is becoming such a mainstay of always winning, and like you said, Artosis, and it really can't be said enough. Rogue does not lose best of 7s.
Yes, that's true. And of course, if he wins that 4th GSL, he passes Nest's record.
That's
and
right.
Zest, I mean, he's already tied for first place in GSL victories for Protoss. So if he wins GSL this season, he is the winningest GSL Protoss ever.
Right. And let's keep in mind, I think Rogue surpassing Nestea in finals here would be one of the most impressive things we've ever seen. I mean, when Nestea was really making finals all the time, we had GSLs that went so quickly.
Yes.
We had like, was there like a year we had, I think, 9 GSLs?
Yeah. Something like that.
Before we, you know, that was when there was basically a StarCraft tournament, sometimes more than one.
We had
finals
6 days
every
a week.
weekend. Yeah. We've kind of toned it down here. But anyways, now we're going to go to an interview, see how the players are thinking. Andy, go ahead.
And this first match of the round of 4 will determine who moves on to the finals of this season. The player with the most GSL victories as a Protoss and the player with the most GSL wins as a Zerg, they're going up against each other. It's a Dragon Phoenix Gaming team kill as well. Okay, we're gonna have an interview. Hello Zest, hello Rogue. So Zest, you first. After 2018, this is your round of 4 after 4 seasons. 4 seasons, how do you feel?
너무 오랜만에 4강을 와가지고
Oh, this is a round of 4 in a long time.
그 연습에만 몰두했고
So I did practice a lot
연습만 했어요.
during Thanksgiving holiday.
And
And in the interview, you said that you don't mind whether you go up against Rogue or Dog, but it is Rogue this time. And every time at important pass, you go up against a Zerg. So how's it gonna go this time?
상대 중독이라기보단 그냥 제가 못했고
Well, my opponent's race doesn't really matter. I just play bad
오늘은 좀
at that time. I think today is gonna be different. Okay, Zest.
Alright, Rogue.
And you have 3 GSL win and 1 Super Tournament win in GSL. And you have a great career right now, Rogue. So during Thanksgiving, you did come runner-up in a big online tournament. So are you exhausted at all right now?
좀 그래도 좀 오래됐고
Well, you know, it's been pretty long since the runner-up event.
보는 중이지만 오프라인이랑 온라인 그 차이가 되게 큰.
So although I did come second place in the online tournament, an offline tournament and online tournament is completely different. Alright then, Rogue, did you prepare a lot against Zest?
성욱이 형이랑 평소에 그래도 게임을 많이 하기 때문에
I play a lot of games against Zest usually, so I know his playstyle pretty well.
무난하게 안 할 것 같아가지고.
And I think Zest is not gonna offer standard play today, so I'm kind of expecting great things from him today. Alright, Zest. When you were going up against Dream, you said his provocation actually gave you a lot of motivation. And Dream actually said that although you're a really strong player, you lack in the later game.
왠지 모르게
So what do you think about that?
약간 일부러 하는 것 같아서 별로 도발이 안 됐던 거.
You know, that time it wasn't really a big provocation for me.
경기로 보여드리면 될 것 같아요.
Today I'm gonna show with my result and my performance. And the opponent Rogue just mentioned that you're not gonna go for the standard play. What do you think about that?
경기로 보여.
Well, I'll show you that in the games.
사실 두 분이 2020 IEM 카토비체 결승 이후로 1년 반 만에
In 2020 IEM Katowice, this is a match after 1 year. So how do you predict the score today? The outcome.
이긴다면 4대0 나올 것
If I win the first game, I think it's gonna be a 4-0 for me. But if I lose the first game, I think it's gonna be a 4-3 for me. Okay, that was Rogue's prediction. What about you, Zest?
저도
As for me,
현재 기준으로는 제가 병렬이보다 더 잘한다고
I think currently I'm better than Rogue.
오늘 4대0 목표로.
So I'm gonna try to set my goal as 4-0 for me.
두 선수 모두 4대0.
Okay, both players predict a 4-0 score for themselves. So whoever moves on to the finals, they will write a new history in GSL. So before we get into the actual match, anything you want to say? Zest, you first.
병렬이가 진짜 잘하는 선수.
I mean, Rogue is a phenomenal player,
7전제 무패 기록이 저는
but the best of 7 record in offline match, I think
오늘 좀
it's gonna be broken today.
깨주고 싶어요.
I want to break it.
오프라인 7전제 무패 기록을 깨주겠다
Oh.
말씀하셨는데요.
Big words from Zest. What do you think, Rogue?
잘하는 선수긴 한데.
I mean, Zest is a good player,
적으로 가면 제가 훨씬 더 잘한다고 생각하기 때문에.
but I think I'm the better one here.
잘해가지고.
So I did make good preparation.
후반 재밌는 후반 하고 싶어요.
I wish to have a good late game with him today. And both players are aiming for their 4th GSL victory today. Which one will move on to the finals of the last season of the GSL this year? Let's kick it off now.
All right, let's get this going. The best of 7 to decide who will get to the finals of the last season of GSL Codex this year. Interested to see what Zest's thoughts were.
Well, famous last words, right? Like he said, I think I'm better than Rogue, and I'm going to break his best 7 win streak. Look, I love to hear that. I want that to be the case.
Yeah.
I love Zest. I have always bet on Zest and Rogue and TY. Those have been my guys forever. But
you have been a Zest guy. That's true. You've definitely been on Team
If you look
Zest.
back, before any of them really won championships, maybe Zest had won like his first championship, but I've been saying Zest, Rogue, and TY literally for like 6 years. But yeah, so the thing is, Zest said all that, but Rogue reminds us that he knows everything about Zest by just saying, I hope to play some nice long games with him. Because Zest he's not a late game player at all.
Yeah.
And Rogue is the best late game player that there is.
Even just outside of the race Protoss, Zest has always been a timing attack player. He always comes in at a very specific moment with a specific comp to hit the player at a specific time in their own development. Win the game there, if not that, hiccup that with a follow-up killing blow. It's been very much the way that Zest has played, and he's had more success in the early days of Legacy of the Void than in the time we're in now. And Legacy of the Void is a very aged time here in StarCraft 2. We really understand how everything works. If Zest could win here, it would be huge. He's always struck me as a player who is more on the cutting edge. When a new expansion comes out, let's say a new RTS comes out, he might be the guy that picks it up and is the best. But the way that Rogue plays is very much just stop whatever they're trying to do, stop it, overcome it, and then take control of the game and close it out.
Yeah,
in a very Zerg-like fashion.
Rogue is so full range that it's insane. Like he is next level. All right. Blackburn, our first map. I guess we just get to see. Let's get it started, Taste. Let's see what Zest has.
Got my fingers crossed for a close match here. Zest up against Rogue. Rogue right now, I mean, the most accomplished player we have here in the GSL. He's
in the world, in the game.
Yeah, and he is here to try to do it again. If Zest could win here, it would be huge. It would be history-making. Anyways, let's go to Blackburn and find out what happens.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Zest. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue.
So we have a probe inbound here.
Yeah, probably a hatchery block.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm stoked to see what Zest has. He was so confident there, and there's no reason to think that he's being dumb about it or anything. Like, he's been saying that he's motivated. He's been pretty straightforward with how he feels, like, emotionally about the game. If you recall, he went through, like, he was really dominating for a little bit, then he went through a rather large drought and then popped up again around IM Pyeongchang, right, where he ended up, like, top 8 or top 4. I think, if I recall correctly, Scarlet knocked him out on her way to victory, but he mentioned in, like, the video that IM made for that about how, you know, he's like, I just haven't really been motivated, you know, like, I want to be motivated again, it's just hard, and, like, a lot of pro gamers go through things like that, and he's been talking about how he's been pretty motivated lately. He's playing hard, and he's enjoying it, and so let's see. Yeah.
Well, it's got to be interesting to be a player that, you know, actually gets to the very top. Obviously, you have a very small number of players that ever get to be on top of the world. As far as tournament, you know, winnings go, and basically regarded as, you know, the zenith of the game itself and how you play. And yeah, he did talk about having some motivational issues, which I think can happen to some people when they get to the very top of something, and then, you know, it's like, well, I don't know, you know, it's not as exciting for me to keep winning. But I think you're right in that, like you said, he's got some, you know, kind of new ways of looking at the game, and he's hungry to try to win again.
And he's going to the military really soon, guys. Like, we're pretty sure that he won't be in Super Tournament. We have another Super Tournament coming up. Not 100% sure, but that's what I've heard people saying. So this is one of his last series that we're going to see him in for years. Now, he is going for a Stargate opener. Okay. We'll see which type of Stargate opener he wants. I would imagine, well, with the rally we see there, it's probably going to be a Void Ray first. You never know how he's going to do it. And don't forget, that here's what we need to see from Zest, right? Because we've been talking about how he is more of a mid-game player. He's definitely just one of the greatest optimizers the game has ever had. Like, he will probably, what we're going to be seeing from him here today, and especially if he's actually going to beat Rogue, is some very, very tight builds that almost surprise his opponent here, right? Where it's like, oh God, look at that. He has more Adepts or more Zealots or more Void Rays right now than you would expect.
Yeah, right now, from the Zerg's perspective, you don't have much of a read, right? I mean, you see the Void Ray, but that doesn't necessarily point
Not
to
uncommon.
Right. I mean, the one of the main reasons you get the Void Ray is to get rid of their scouts. And then there's a series of choices you could make as far as what kind of game you want to have here. And it can go in a lot of different directions. You could just take a third base, you know, like we're seeing here now, and play conservatively. You could try to go for some kind of a timing attack. And then after that third base, there's a lot of different types of approaches there. Now, I don't think we're going to see him go for any kind of carrier stuff, like just sit back, turtle, and go carriers. That doesn't feel like it's a Zest way of playing the game.
No, he's not good at that. Like, if he were to do something like that, it would have to be like one of those older SOS builds where it's a weird carrier timing attack where he gets like 2 carriers to clear out queens and then goes mass adept or something, right?
Right.
Because, yeah, you're definitely right. Like, just sitting there making carriers, massing those up, getting that late game army, that's just not where his skill set is at. We never see him really win games like that. So this is much more like it. Look at that.
This is so funny.
8-gate charge.
We were talking about this before we went live here, but yeah, the games will probably look like this. Some kind of charge lot all in. And it's a very sharp timing. Keep in mind that once the Zealots start to get their first few hits off, that is really where the game is going to be decided. Was the Zerg able to preempt this or not? It's kind of an all or nothing build, really. But let's see if the Zerg can identify this is coming. It's going to be coming down to some very quick Ling scouts to try to spot a warp prism. Because once this starts, it's very tough to deal with. And it looks like basically all of the warp gates are going to finish as the warp-in is about to start over here.
Well, that's definitely what he wants, and there is a Baneling nest already, but we don't see anything on the way for that.
Yeah.
He's warping in 6 Zealots.
It's going to be... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was going to have the first warp-in actually on the creep. Okay, so he's going to have one wave of Zealots come in here, and then the next wave, so he's going to see these Zealots.
He has force fielders in his prism as well.
I like that you called them force fielders, yeah.
Well, that's what they do, right?
And so
they aren't there for the Guardian Shield, that's for sure.
Now he can just recycle force fields over and over again onto that ramp, and I think this is going to be extremely difficult now.
I think he's already got it, man.
I think basically it's worked. I think you're right, Artosis. GG, Zest takes game 1.
All right.
What was that, 6 minutes?
That was
super
short.
fast.
That was fast.
And I want to point out, that was like Zest at his very best.
Yeah,
that's
the way
that
exactly
he plays,
it.
like we were talking about ahead of time, he has something coming. You don't know when in the game it's going to be. It won't be in the end game, but it'll be somewhere before that starts. And it will either cripple you and allow him to finish you off a little bit later, or it will end the game outright. It ended the game outright back there.
Yeah. He literally stopped on 37 probes, had the 3rd Nexus, 2 voids. Didn't go for anything else. I mean, very well done by Zest. And the thing is, it is hard to prep to stop something like that because no one's going to have the same amount of units as him. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we could have him Rogue playing against Trap. Trap is not going to hit the same time as Zest is. So that makes it a little bit tough, but I mean, that's one game, right? And the thing is, Rogue had the right tool in the Baneling nest.
Yeah.
He just didn't know it was coming. Zest did a great job of denying his scouting.
But, you know, how many more tricks like that can Zest have? Or does Zest have
3.
something? Hopefully 3. Because obviously you can't do that strategy again, or if you do it in a couple games from now. Anyways, guys, we're going to go to Nautilus for game number 2. Let's see what happens. Zestmas Rogue continues on with Zest having that 1-0 lead.
Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Zest. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue.
So Zest scouting out Rogue immediately. Rogue's Overlord scouting out Zest immediately. So now they know where they're at. Of course, 4-player map, but they are in these vertical spawns, so unless it goes a little bit longer, the fact that it's 4-player won't be as important.
Well, he spots that Overlord there too, so it's already, you know, a map where certainly there could be some rushes that could come. I want to see if he has anything devised specifically for scouting the first Overlord. Maybe there's some kind of rush you don't expect, or some kind of weird proxy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could. Definitely could have stuff like that ready. I do kind of feel like it's a bit likely that he'll have a more generic build on this map, being the only 4-player map, and not knowing which spawn your opponent is going to be in compared to you, I think makes Zest's type of preparation a little bit more difficult for this.
You don't think for Zest there's a possibility that, because he scouts to find the Overlord like he did back there, he doesn't have some kind of pocketed build like, oh, I'll play normally unless I happen to get you right away, in which case I do have some way to approach this.
Yeah, it could be. Like, that definitely could be, but if you look at, like, statistically how you're going to balance your practice time, if you have 7 maps to practice and 6 of them are 2-player, 1 is a 4-player, and then there's 3 different possibilities for spawns in the 4-player map, it feels to me like that would be the one that you are going to prepare the least for. Because there's too much there that you have to prepare for, right? So that's just a guess on my part, but
We've got the Stargate again. Maybe we will have another Void Ray.
hell, just do the same build. Why not?
Or you open it up the same way, and then you've got maybe 5 different builds after that first Void Ray comes out. Each one a little bit different. Keep the Zerg guessing.
That's definitely something Zest has done in the past.
But, the way this map is shaped, it wouldn't be the worst map in the world to do that same strat again. The problem is again, if Zerg just knows it's coming,
yeah,
then they can stop it.
It's very similar. Like, these spawns are very similar to what we saw in Blackburn. So that it could be a good situation to do that in. See if he starts the second Void, right? And does he make the second gate in the wall? Hey, so far it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, it's all plugged up. And, again, we also have to watch and see if there's anything kind of aggro that Rogue might do. He doesn't do this very often, but we would not be really casting this realistically if we didn't point out periodically Rogue will just come in there and kill you with some kind of aggro.
Oh, yeah.
Build from time to time. He does mix it up. I think we're both...
He's pretty cheesy.
Yeah.
Really.
Well,
even though he's like a great late game player, he definitely mixes in cheese.
So far, most of this cast has been us, kind of casting from Zest's perspective. I think because we're really interested to see if Zest can...
He's the underdog.
Actually break out, break the norm and actually move ahead. So that's what most of this cast has been, but it should be pointed out. I mean, absolutely, the options available to Rogue to try to do an all-in, which could negate any of the strength of... oh, hold on, air weapons.
Yeah,
And a
that's
second
kinda
Stargate.
Cool. Okay, so air weapons here, like it might be a mass Void Ray build. Zest in the past has popularized some double Stargate Phoenix switches as well. So I could see it being either one of those. Like, he's blocking all scouting, right? As long as nothing gets up to his core, you have no idea. Okay, another Void Ray.
Forge coming down too. It's it's a total ambiguity here from the Zerg's perspective as far as what the intentions of Protoss are going to be. Now, getting a second Stargate means we're not going to have any action from the Protoss towards the Zerg for a little bit. So development will go unimpeded here for the Zerg, but we kind of want to see, does the Zerg overreact maybe because of the silence on the map and because of, the lack of anything actually happening to preempt something like what happened in Game 1. And in that sense, if Zerg were to do that, the Zerg would have put himself behind.
Something interesting I think that we're seeing here, look at this, 7 roaches on the way, Queen's walking across. I think that this is a pretty easy hold for Zest. Like, he's going to make shield batteries and cannons, and those are going to be finished by the time the Queen gets there. And he's going to have at least 4 Void Rays with +1. Yeah, he already has 4, so he's going to have like 6 Voids with +1, and then whatever else.
I think you're right.
I think he's going to hold this pretty easy. If you're mathing this out
correctly, Artosis, this is going to be extremely bad for the Zerg. And so Zerg did indeed try to go for something aggressive here, but it looks like Protoss could probably hold it. Now these Ravagers, great control, pulls that one Ravager back. Is he going to try to transfuse that? And he could just keep pelting this with those corrosive biles, chipping away at the cannons.
Yeah, he lost a Void Ray there, which is actually pretty critical. He does have 5, and the biles coming down. Ooh, he takes some big hits there. Again, the overcharge is popped. And I mean, he's starting to clear these Ravagers pretty quickly.
Yeah, the question is, how much more damage is his base going to endure? Is he going to be able to maybe wipe the Nexus out or do anything like that? The Void Rays remain. The batteries are still present here.
Yeah, still popping them out right now, and it looks like he's running out of energy now. Okay, some more are finishing. Looks like he's going to start popping all the queens really quickly here,
yeah,
though.
and the damage is going to be exponential here as these queens begin to disappear. And I mean, if you look at the bottom of the, I should say the left side of the screen, it's been 2 probes killed here. So, I mean, this rush is completely and totally backfired.
He smashed that.
Yeah, and really, this is a much easier game at the pro level for the Protoss to navigate. I mean, the Zerg has lost all these queens, basically trying to swing the game by snowballing the damage at the 3rd base. It did not work. And now the Void Rays can come out here and start to massacre Overlords. And I imagine we're probably just going to see a pretty standard follow-up here.
Well, this just has to feel fantastic for Zest right now. He already won game 1. He's got complete control of game 2 now.
He should be able to win game 2, and that means he would be halfway to moving on to the finals. What a crazy start here.
Yeah.
Again, though, we're not out of the woods yet. Let's see how Rogue handles this. He is a player who's pretty good at playing when he's up against the ropes.
Yeah, and if he can stretch it into an extremely long game, that's where a lead like this deteriorates over time. I just saw a 3rd Stargate and Fleet Beacon coming down, so it looks like he's going to switch into carriers.
Okay.
Which, after holding that, you absolutely can't blame him to go into carriers here.
Well, yeah, but there's no way to punish them when they're going carriers, right? You're too busy trying to defend these Void Rays.
But if Rogue can, stretch this out, and, I think what Zest is going to want to do here is get, a couple rounds of carriers and have some ground with that and go, right?
Yeah.
Whether that's, a warp in the main base or, whatever it may end up being. But if Rogue can pull this into, a 25-minute game, a 30-minute game, I think that's where he can, maybe whittle Zest down over time. But it's going to be hard. He lost a lot there. He's not in a great spot. He's up 3 workers only. His army is queens and a few roaches and ravagers.
Yeah, it's funny. When you go carriers, obviously you're always afraid of being interrupted in that period of time. Trying to develop them and get them out. But at the same time, this does give the Zerg a little bit more freedom to try to recover.
Yeah, and now he's actually going for Void Ray speed as well as more Voids and +2 attack. So, no, this next attack, there's no way. Look at that. I guess if he's catching Zest in a transition, this can definitely work.
Zest is in a transition, but there's 8 Void Rays here.
Well, I think if he had 8 slow Zealots right now, and that's what his army was turning into, he'd be in trouble. But here, with this many batteries and this many flying units, how are... I don't... Oh, wow.
God, those actually connected on the carrier. That's pretty...
I guess if your biles hit, you're good, but...
Yeah.
I can't see that happening again. He's just going to... I think Zest just smashes this.
Yeah. And, Rogue that went for a pretty decisive play, it blew up in his face. And, again, even with transfuses, the damage is actually spiking so fast. It's crazy how long it takes to hold this off, though. So these biles now connecting on top of this robotics here. There is an immortal making.
Yeah, and I mean, the interceptors are starting to fall a little bit, but he's still got his voids here. The biles do good damage. The queens are transfusing and making it hard to actually kill this off, but even if he gets a Nexus, he's giving so much of his stuff for it.
Yeah.
And we're not actually seeing air units die here.
Right, yeah, there's not a lot of trading going on here, right? He's going to get the Nexus before this attack is done, which is okay, that's fine. The queens, obviously, they can't run back home. They're terribly slow off of creep. But you're right, most of the air units basically have remained alive, and because of that, look, he's going to get the 1 carrier, not bad.
He ended up killing 2 carriers with his queens. Zest did not even micro them back.
Yeah, they're actually just staying there.
They just sat there and tanked for the voids, I guess.
And I think we're going to see a repeat scenario here where once again the Void Rays are going to move north and start trying to wipe out anything they can find. Now there's a Spire being made. It doesn't matter. All right. I was wondering if there was going to be some kind of weird muta switch.
Yeah, that would have been.
I didn't know what he wanted to do with the Spire than.
No. Yeah, I don't think
Corruptors
any
or
Spire.
something. Yeah, just
that's,
I don't know
that's
how
not
the
the
game
play.
goes. We're trying to imagine a way that Rogue comes out of this. Rogue says there isn't one, and that means that Zest is halfway to being to the finals. What insane results these are.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm very happy for Zest. He's definitely well prepped and everything. But let's look at the games real quick, right? Game 1, he hit a nasty Zealot all-in and killed Rogue. Okay, that's okay. That is what it is. Game 2, he stopped a Rogue all-in and the thing is, it's not like he scouted the all-in. He's like, and I will go 2 Stargate Void Rays versus. It's more like he was going 2 Stargate Void Rays. Rogue did that build and Zest held it.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so this is not the end of the road for Rogue.
Quick break, guys. We'll be right back with Game 3. Do not go away.
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지. 오늘이 모여 새로운 날을 만든다. 나의 레벨은 다르다. 어나더 레벨 핫식스.
함께 모이면 홈파티. 홈파티엔 먹방. 먹방엔 칠성사이다. 맛있어. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 칠성사이다.
퇴근하고 뭐해? 퇴근하고? 오늘은 유셰프, 내일은 유러너, 주말엔 유목수. 그걸 다? 본캐부터 부캐까지 하고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타 콘트라베이스.
이번 주 등산 어때? 등산 캠핑?
그래서 주말엔 낚시?
내가 낚인 거지. 그래도 나오니까 좋잖아.
일상에서 취미까지 나누고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타. 아이시스 8.0을 챙긴다는 건 건강한 생각까지 챙긴다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0. 아이시스 8.0을 연다는 건 조금 이른 아침을 연다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0.
디자인하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
something. You wanna give me your head. If I'm your girlfriend, I won't let go of your hand. Disappointed, 'cause you never see me. I'm better than you think of you. You're not very simple, you. Hold me to the waist, baby, touch me on my skin, please love me. Let me be something that you never imagined. Hold me to the waist, baby, touch me on my skin, oh just love me. Something that you never imagined.
Semi-final, match 1. Zest. Road. 2021 GSL Season 3. Codex.
Welcome back, everybody. It is time to go to Game 3 here in the semifinals, and I gotta say, this could not be more surprising. Zest is 2-0 right now against Rogue. That's insane.
Yeah.
Game 1, a really sharp timing attack where Rogue basically has seconds to respond. Maybe it's honestly when the attack starts, it's like you're either ready or not, basically. So he wasn't able to figure that out and got crushed. And then in Game 2, it was 2 Stargate Void Ray, but Rogue ended up going for a timing attack, which the Void Rays just countered, and Rogue got behind. Very specific wins and losses on both sides.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect here in Game 3, but if things keep going this way for Zest, he is going to come out on top.
Yeah. Obviously, if he keeps going 2-0, if he goes 2-0 again, he wins. But again, you just described the games very accurately, so I still think Rogue can do this.
Sure.
Anyways, guys, the finals is coming.
Yeah, guys, we've got as we've had before here since the pandemic has have taken over the world here. I'm sure many of you know we don't have studio audiences, and we cannot have them for the finals. Although I am happy to say, Artos and I are about to get our second vaccine here, and the country should be slowly moving back into normality. But for now, we do have this contest where you can send in a cheerful. Those are those signs you saw in the old days when people would be at big esports events in Korea. Make a cool sign, send it to us. Is there some
GSL
email?
at africatv.com.
So send it there. Make it funny. Make it about whatever you want, GSL related. And we will show that on the final day.
Or just make it epic. It doesn't have to be funny.
Yeah.
Maybe you try to make it epic, but it turns out funny.
Yeah, it's actually just
It's
really
like, look
bad.
how hard that guy tried to make that epic, LOL.
Okay, we're going to go to GSL Oblivion for Game 3. Again, 2 very exceptional games. I don't know. Let's see what Zest has. He's halfway there, man. He wins just 2 more out of the possible 4 games we could have, and he's made it. GSL Oblivion is loading up right again, guys. Zest 2-0 lead against Rogue. Rogue, who's never lost a best of 7.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Zest. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue.
So, another hatchery block. Let me see if I can call this correctly. I think we're going to have another Void Ray build coming here. We just don't know what happens after that Void Ray. But if Zest planned like that, I think it would be a very good approach.
Yeah, and there's such different things you have to prepare for. Like, 2 Stargate Void Ray is so different from 2 Void Rays into a Charge All-In.
Right.
And he probably has other things that look like that as well. That's a great way to plan builds, is to make them all look really similar and then have them do very different things that can counter. Like, the build that Rogue used in Game 2, I think that probably would have killed the Game 1 build that Zest did.
I think so.
And the build that he was doing in Game 1 would have obviously done better against Void Rays, right, where he was powering drones and was going to go into Hydra. But, yeah, sometimes you hit it wrong, and that's part of the randomness of StarCraft, right? The poker aspect of you're hiding your builds, and you don't know exactly what your opponent is doing. It's a game of incomplete information. And Zest has done a good job of utilizing that so far this series, but that doesn't mean it can't go the other way. I actually, honestly, I still feel like Rogue's going to win this.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, even though he's up 2-0.
I'm rooting for a Zest win.
I really want
more
Zest
than
to
I
win.
really want anybody to win normally in a game. Like usually, when you cast, you got to be okay with whatever the results are going to be. But right now, I do really want to see Zest move on. That would be a very exciting plot twist. But again, if I was a betting man, I'd still be saying, no, I think Rogue's probably going to take it. The stars really did align for Zest in the last 2 games. I mean, things did pan out perfectly. Rogue did not respect the ambiguity of the build in Game 1, and Zest was able to pounce and kill. And then Game 2 really was 2 build orders where they don't really know what each other are doing, but if one build order is being used over here and the other one's being used over here, the guy that went for the Zest build wins in game 2, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And that does just happen sometimes where people will say, well, I open up with this, except that I do seem to lose to this one thing. How do I stop that?
Yeah,
Sometimes the answer is, oh, that build beats your build.
Yeah.
That's why you always lose to that.
And I mean, sometimes, StarCraft's such a complex game. Things can turn, and like you can beat builds with builds that are worse. Like for anyone watching this, like Rogue probably would have beaten you if you had gone to Stargate Void Ray, but well, except for a few pro gamers that are watching right now,
right.
And even some of those probably too. But yeah, it's that's just kind of part of it. But this is looking like it's going to be an Adept build now.
Is this Zest Classic?
Well, yes. He's the one that brought the Adept build back from the grave.
Did you hear they're bringing back the original flavor of Zest?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So wait, is this?
This might be
60?
amazing. I might be wondering why they ever changed the recipe for Zest if the original was so good.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
And here is actually a funny little anecdote about these Adept builds. In the Katowice, where this came back, it was Zest that brought it back. He got second place to Rogue in that event.
Right.
He also beat Rogue in an earlier stage. He was the only player to beat Rogue in the tournament and then lost him in the finals because Rogue adjusted to what Zest was doing. And then this build took over the entire Protoss versus Zerg meta for over a year.
Yeah.
But
so he's bringing this out, and this is something we thought might be happening in one of the earlier games. But this is the build in the rotation this time around. One queen does not get sniped. The Shade is canceled. Roaches and Lings are being manufactured at a pretty quick rate.
Manufactured?
Yeah.
That's a very cold way to describe
That's right.
The
birth
the
of
beauty
life
of
form.
birth. Zerg birth tasteless. Don't you look down upon it. They didn't choose to be this way.
Really? No. Uh-oh. Hold on. Is this going to work? I feel like he's kind of wedged into a pretty uncomfortable spot. He's beginning to juggle, but this is one of those moments where if the Adepts take too much damage, the rush basically stops. He's going to kill this last Roach onto the high ground.
Okay, he actually shades a bunch out to the third, which has a spine, and then is trying to utilize these new Adepts he warped in, but this is like his entire army, right? And he's only on 32 workers.
Okay, I think this rush has been held, and I don't think it did enough damage.
Well, yeah, I would
We
definitely.
thought it was going to be awesome, but then it was like,
Well,
it was.
If Zest is doing it, he definitely thinks that it has some real potential. But yeah, so far it's like super duper not working.
Yeah, it just doesn't appear that there's now any weakness anywhere.
And it's getting worse because he's only making Adepts. He's not even making probes, which I think that's fine because he's so all in right now. But he's like way down in army, way down in workers. He's got, look at this, the Overlord's flying over. He's like, you have 10 probes at your natural Zest. Get out of the game.
Yeah. Well, he's going to try one more.
Yeah.
One more time. The thing is that this should be less effective than even the first attack, unless he gets a really good angle. Now, he has managed to get up here onto this ramp. The problem is that the surround is so profoundly strong right now that these Adepts are disappearing quickly. This, no matter which way you cut it, looks like it's going to be a short night, man.
Yeah.
These games are just ending so quickly.
Yeah. Well, I think the Zest needs to get them decided for sure, but this one not working out for him.
No.
I think a GG here is totally fine.
Yeah.
There's like just mathematically, you look at this, there's the Adepts would have to turn magical right now because there's like 19 Roaches and 9 Lings and 3 Queens out. So like you can actually just never, ever, ever, ever kill that by making only Adepts. Right?
GG.
Okay.
Game 4, go.
But yeah, this is,
Game 4, go.
This is what we're looking at. It's these are very sharp builds butting heads into each other. Okay.
Yeah. We're not getting into your standard late game where we're talking about 5th bases and 6th bases and hey, look over there. That's all going to come down to that base in the bottom right corner, and who's going to control that, or Zerg's going to mine out before Protoss. It's really about, you know, it's like two guys falling out of an airplane and they're fighting over one parachute.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. I was going to say it's like you see those rams that are up on the mountain that like they go way up in the air, then they hit heads into each other.
Sure, yeah.
They're kind of like that. But they have knives attached to their hooves, too.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the game where their antlers get stuck together and they both die.
That would be awesome, because then we get a draw.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Zest. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue.
You know, I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about like draw games, I'm trying to think if there has ever been a draw game where both players were eliminated, and I don't believe so, because I think the only way that could ever happen would be a very strange scenario with a nuke, right?
Yeah, like a nuke or...
Because one person would have to kill their own stuff because you couldn't kill... It would have to be
have
one shot of something that killed everything at the same time.
Or could you have two players both lose their buildings at the exact same time?
I think it would never be exact.
We find out in the coding, it's like, oh, the red player always wins, and we're like, oh,
so imbalanced.
That's not fair.
The true imba.
That's true imba. Yeah, I guess it would have to be something like a nuke hit.
I can't come up with anything else.
And then but then you'd also have to have a situation where you would ever have a player at a pro level that would make as foolish of an error as that to nuke their buildings and the other buildings.
I could see a situation where it was like a depot and they couldn't get close because of something, and like the only way to kill it was the
it's like
nuke.
there's like one spine crawler hitting one depot, and you can't get to it with the ghost because the depot's in the corner.
Yeah, and also they're attacking your ghost silo, so you have to make the decision right there.
Oh yeah,
because that's where the nuke is coming from.
Okay, yeah, we figured it out.
Well, if we play StarCraft 2 for another 100 years, we might get that game
We need 90 more decades of StarCraft 2, and finally we hit that moment.
That very special game.
Okay, well, it's another Stargate, surprise, surprise. A Void Ray sure to be made once this finishes up.
Well, this is the map where it's like actually really hard to go kill your opponent because it's so well defended. So Stargate can be very popular here anyways, but this is probably the map that's most likely to go to a longer game, which is where Rogue should excel.
That doesn't mean that there are not strategies that you could try to pull out that could, in a surprise moment, try to end the game, but you know, the normal way to lose the game early on is to just lose your third base in a straightforward fashion, right? Like somebody attacks out, and then you lose that, and you're like, well, I'm 2 behind now. I'm going to leave the game. But let's see what happens.
All right, well, that first Void Ray, here comes the second gate. So far, it looks exactly like the other 2 Void Ray games.
Right.
Just throwing that out there. I'm kind of just watching for that, because that's where builds become very interesting, right? That rotation. Okay, Oracle. So this is more like the
Number 2.
Second Void Ray game, yeah.
So maybe it's going to be the same build as Game 2, but you know, again, the Oracle doesn't give away any of the intentions just yet.
Yeah, what we'll be
It's not like if we see Glaives, we go, oh, okay.
Yeah, what we're looking for is as Warp Gate finishes, do we see a second Stargate and a +1 attack? That's what will tell us if it's the same. Okay, a couple more gases. There's the air attack. Yeah, it's looking really similar to Game 2 right now. We'll see if the second Stargate starts up. Because that can be a tricky thing too, is you let someone in to scout it, but you're actually not going for it, right?
Right.
That could be a very strong mind game. Because you would never get like +1 air attacks with just making a couple of Void Rays.
Yeah.
And you
The
can't...
air weapons
yeah.
really shows this is a long-term investment in having power and having momentum, with a fleet of Void Rays, but probably carriers too.
Yeah, look, it's a fake. I think he wants a Zergling to come in and check because I think he'll even cancel the +1 if I had to guess, but he doesn't have to.
Yeah, well, you don't lose that much, but I think you're right, Artosis.
Yeah, because he's making a third Void. Okay, Rogue, he hasn't scouted it yet.
Yeah, that's got to be annoying, right? If this is in fact a red herring in the build order, and it goes unscouted, that's always kind of a funny thing that can happen in StarCraft because if they were going to scout you, you wouldn't have bothered to waste minerals and gas on that stupid upgrade to begin with.
And it's not just that either. It's like a lot of these builds, you're actually at high levels. People know what everything means when they see it. So
yeah,
it's like, why would you unoptimize your build with this to trick your opponent?
Right.
So he is actually making his own build worse and trying to trick him. Like, honestly, the build he's doing, he probably doesn't even want 3 Void Rays. You know?
Yeah. No, it's a really interesting moment. But the Zerg is not engaged in it at all. But there are ways to play StarCraft where you really don't scout that much at all and try to play a pretty well-rounded approach. Like, you're kind of okay versus anything.
And Overseer is going to pop into the main base, so he's going to see what's going on. By the way, that +1 is going to finish, and I think he'll let it finish because he's making, like, his 5th Void right now.
Yeah.
So you may as well. Like, that's going to be a really worthwhile upgrade anyways. And now, I mean, it looks like it's a bunch of gates, charge, the Prism. This is a very, very different build from anything we've seen so far, even though it kind of looked the same. It's very clever by Rogue to just not scout it.
Yeah, and then he just comes in here much later. He's like, all right, what are you actually doing? Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, very optimized build. It's funny because that could have been something someone would easily miss in the game, right? But the rush is going to be inbound. It's going to start out with a couple Void Rays, and then the 2 Archons inside of the Warp Prism.
Yeah, I want to say he has 5 Voids right now. Those 2 Archons, as you said, and he's going up to 8 gates, I believe. And so that's a pretty heavy ground-pounding army right there.
Yeah. Now, obviously there was all these mind games going on at the start, but let's see how this is actually handled and how well prepared Rogue is. This is a pretty scary army.
Yeah, look at that. The Queen's pulling back with the Roaches. He turned those Voids on, so he was hoping for the full engagement on the Roaches.
Extremely conservative placement by the Warp Prism as well. He is just not going to lose this game because the Warp Prism is going to be shot down. That much is for sure.
All right, the Vials come down. The Void Rays just fly right in. The Zealots are all over the Queens right now. If he can eliminate the Queens, the Void Rays are going to add a hell of a lot of damage here.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I didn't see that. Oh my God!
Well, that is a game changer right there. It looked like he was actually going to wipe this ground army super fast.
Yeah,
but
the problem
still,
is
he kind of wipes it, even though that's the greatest stasis ward ever done in any game for all time.
Yeah, the stasis is going to thaw. And I still don't think that Zerg can be tipped over here. Let's see. Again,
this is not the end of the world for Zest, though. He is on the same amount of workers as Rogue.
That's
this
true.
is a very high econ play that he did. So, yeah, like the Zealot attack did not work. But you know what? He's making Immortals right now, getting a second Robo. It looks like he's going to Disruptor Tech as well, Blink, +2, all this stuff. And he's got a fine economy behind. And you know what? I think he's all right, but I like this Muta switch from Rogue. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think the Muta switch is actually pretty brilliant. It'll stop the rush, but it'll also allow Zerg to really take control of the map with a different unit comp. And I think from here, you basically try to expand behind the Muta switch. Keep growing on the map, keep dominating, get rid of these Void Rays. Oh, wow, an Immortal. Its face was on milk cartons. No one knew where it was. It'll never be found.
Yeah. Okay, he's got to live right now because he has Disruptors coming out. So his army is going to scale way past this stuff he's playing against. But this is like the very scary moment. Okay, the Immortal comes out. He did lose that 1 Immortal, which hurts a lot. Oh my God. Oh, he's getting shredded right now.
I thought he was going to have to expand behind this. He's like, well, I can just kill him, Tasus. I'm like, okay. Yeah, that works too.
Well, there's the first Disruptor hit.
Yeah.
The second one should be coming from the main base.
This is, I think, not enough. You need way more with these Disruptors.
Dude, this is crazy because if this attack was 10 seconds later, I think he holds it.
I think
easily.
so, but that's why Rogue did not wait 10 seconds.
So Disruptor just walks out and dies. So painful right there.
If this is in fact the end, it's going to be 2-2 now as Rogue has evened things out. Zest with a strong start, but Rogue able to adapt and overcome.
Yeah, the Oracle trying its best, but not enough. The series is tied up.
Beautifully done there.
That was kind of interesting, though, I think. Like, Zest was trying to trick him. Rogue didn't even check, so didn't get tricked. My eyes are closed. You can't scare me, Tasteless. Making me faces at me. I just close my eyes. I'm in control of myself,
if I
Tasteless.
close my eyes and cover my ears.
Yeah.
Plug my nose. You can't get me. So Rogue, yeah, I mean, he just never really engaged, played a pretty safe game, and then scouts basically with one overseer at the end says, gotcha, if that's what you're doing. That's the only moment I needed to see, and won the game. And Zest now, I think, you know, reality is kicking back in here as we're seeing Rogue begin to come back here.
Yeah.
Guys, short break, and then our semifinals continues on with Game 5.
힘들어도
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지.
오늘이 보여.
새로운 나를 만든다.
나의 레벨은 다르다. 어나더 레벨 핫6.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 완벽하네. 칠성사이다.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
Semi-final Match 1. Zest. RO.4 2021 GSL Season 3 CEST.
Ready for the drop. Here we go. There it is. Ooh, that was a good drop. That was a good drop. We're back, and it's 2-2 now. First section of the show, all about Zest. The second section is all about Rogue.
What's the third section all about?
Well,
Faceless?
this is the thing, Artosis, is we only have 2 commercial breaks in the right. We don't have a third one.
No, that's right, Faceless.
That's right. So this
Our
is it.
commercials are done.
So one of these sections of the show has to be about one of these guys, right?
Yeah.
That's right. We don't have a commercial break after Game 6.
No. No, we're going to finish this out. We're going to see who's going to the finals.
We're giving the viewers special insights. They now know that we know when the commercials come. Even though the show is unscripted, that's the one part we do know.
Yeah. It's actually the whole
when it says coming up
That's
next,
why our jokes are so bad.
That's right, yeah. When we're not funny, it's because the teleprompter broke. All right, guys, we're going to go to Oxide now for Game 5 here and decide who will take the lead here between Zest and Rogue in this fight to get to the GSL Finals.
Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Zest. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue.
What do you think the score is from here, Tasteless? We're playing a best of 3 to go to the finals.
I think Rogue takes this one too. I feel like what Rogue has realized is it's probably best if he just plays a very safe, conservative game. He's not even trying to scout that quickly. He just knows, okay, I need the Overseer to come in one time at this one moment, which is really impressive, by the way, and take a quick look, and then I'll know what to do. And I don't think that Zest has enough punchy builds like Game 1. Like, Game 1 is a real rug pull build, right? Where, like, suddenly the strategy activates, and you just lose outright. Things fall apart very quickly. There's not a lot of builds Protoss have that are that quick acting. Most of these quick Protoss builds that come out they require, you know, a minute or two to let things unfold, right?
Yeah.
Where, like, that one build, it's like the moment that the Zealots get into your main and the force field gets up, you're probably dead.
Yes,
It's
that's
like a
for sure.
decapitation build.
Yeah, yeah.
They take that one guy in Mortal Kombat and it throws his hat and they just chop your head off.
Oh, yeah, he guillotined him for sure.
Who is that throws the hat?
Oh, like, I can see him, but
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Hat-tality?
I
don't know.
Hat-tality. Well,
Who throws-
first he was
who
hatful,
throws
but then
his
he
hat?
throws it,
Well-
he's hatless.
Hold on,
So-
I got a phone. I can check this guy who throws his hat. Mortal Kombat with a K.
I'm only
Kung Lao.
I'm only a Mortal Kombat 1 player, man. I don't buy these new characters. Reptile, what?
Yeah, Goro is always the best boss, right?
Goro's
Have you
great.
actually gone on YouTube and looked up the Mortal Kombat lore? I did this one night.
I mean, I watched a movie a long time ago.
No. Like all of the games, it's a story. And like through most of the Mortal Kombats, they were actually going back in time and like killing each other. And then eventually, when the franchise switched ownership, they basically just had part of the story go back and reset all of the timelines.
Really?
So they never happened. Yeah.
Well, that's a great way to.
That's
make
a good way to fix it.
non-canon anymore.
It's I know, right?
Wow.
Imagine they did that with Star Wars. They went back and were like, oh, no.
Oh, actually,
Wait.
I think they're calling all the new ones non-canon now.
Oh, well, that's probably the right thing to do.
It's
Most
probably
of them are
the-
so bad.
Yeah, there's someone that works there that actually has some morals, it looks
Yeah.
like.
So, yeah, basically, to go back to what we were talking about, Zest did a Kung Lao build, which, whoosh,
Yeah.
your head's gone. Good luck living without a head, idiot.
Now, this might be a Kung Lao build because he's
Yeah.
actually getting air attacks instead of Warp Gate this time. So it looks just like some of the other builds.
Yep.
Like, he's even got the Senki Gate Warp in. All of his builds have looked like this except the Glaives build. But this is +1 air attacks, which you never see this early unless you're watching Rodigo Phoenixes.
So, let's see what the next few steps are going to be here in this build.
This is pretty wild, man. Like this, I'm trying to figure this out because, like, straight up, no Warp Gate, third Nexus, but no second Stargate as of yet. Okay, there's a second Stargate, but he might do like just 3 Stargate Void Ray and try to kill him or something like that. Or maybe he just makes a certain number of Void Rays and goes into carrier and like he's just not caring about those ground units. Ground units can't even fly anyways, so like what's the point?
Dude, that is so true. Ground units can't fly.
I know.
Except
It's
for
stupid.
Vikings. But really, Vikings are air units that can land on the ground.
Yeah,
now that
that's
I think
right.
about
Yeah,
it,
no.
I can't believe how much my mind
It's
is
like
being
saying
blown
that like
right
yeah, it's like saying that a bird is like
a ground
that's
unit?
a ground unit that can fly. No, Tasteless.
Birds
it's not.
are air units. No,
Yeah.
dude, you're right.
Yeah.
You're so right.
I am right, yeah. Oh, and now he's into the Phoenixes.
Just like birds are air units, fish are water units.
They are.
They don't have those.
Some of them can fly. Flying fish.
Oh my god.
Yeah, some of them can go on land too.
They say that humans used to be water units until they eventually came out of the ocean and started walking around on the ground.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ancestors to humans, but not
Ancestors.
straight up
No,
humans.
it happened in one step. There was a fish that was born that had
There was
little
a-
feet and legs.
Yeah, he had toes and stuff. He's like, these aren't very useful in the water.
Yeah.
I bet you these would help me
It
to
wasn't
run.
quite that. It was like just a one generational shift. There was one fish guy that was on land screaming, "Kill me!" and then a human was born, and now here we all are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Phoenix builds.
Oh my god, it's a Nidus build going up against Mass Phoenix
Oh,
plus
no.
2 voids.
The Phoenix is not strong enough to pull the Nidus up out of the ground and attack it. But it would be funny if it could, if the Phoenix could pick the Nidus up, and then that would force the tail of the Nidus to go underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's just like the units come out higher and now the roaches are air units because they pop out
Yeah.
above everything
We
else.
don't know about fall damage in RTS
Huh.
yet.
Okay, well, this. I think he's gonna die. Maybe. I mean, it's a lot of Phoenixes, but he just doesn't. He's not gonna have a lot of anything.
No,
to
this
defend.
counters this. Look at that
Oh,
blind
dude.
spot.
Yeah.
There's something funny about StarCraft 2 blind spots where it's like, really? I can't see that at all? Like what we're doing right here?
I like that he just throws a creep down. He knows that he's getting away with it.
Yeah. He's like, oh no, my drones. Oh no, my economy. He's like, nah, I don't care.
Yeah. Look at all those queens.
Look at this pylon over here. There's one pylon powering the 2 buildings that can make attacking units right now. How unfortunate is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit painful. Okay, well, he brings up his, like, 7 Phoenixes that don't have energy anymore. His Stargate
Right
gets
before
unpowered.
they finish, yep.
Yeah. Not looking too good for Zest here. He's got 4 units that do not fly. Ground units, as we would call them.
Yep.
Well.
All right, Rogue is going to take game 5.
Yep.
GG. Rogies is doing it again.
Well, it was kind of an interesting, tricky thing that Zest did there with the quick +1 air into Phoenixes. I don't mind the idea, but it's another one of those games where Rogue was like doing this other thing, and it beat the thing that Zest was doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're having a lot of games like that tonight, but it's not overly surprising.
Well, that game won't happen again. Let's see what happens on, I almost said Romanticide, against Light Shade here. For some reason, the highlight of the map confuses my eyes somehow.
Wait, say that again?
It's like, you see Light Shades in blue, but it kind of looks like the background. I feel like somehow that's off. My eyes didn't go to it right away. I gotta go. Start the game, get me out of this conversation with Arto's ass. Oh, the Caster Park just has a lot to say, doesn't he? All right, here we go.
GSL Season 3.
I know.
Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Zest. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue.
So tasteless. The Earth has been around for a long time, and there's been
flat,
like a lot of and it's flat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, things couldn't fly. You would fall off. Like that doesn't even make sense. We're talking about flying units here.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you think through all the different like epochs of different types of life forms on the Earth, what was the coolest one?
Komodo dragon.
Well, no. I don't mean like. Is this current epoch the best one, or is it like a previous one?
No. It's got to be when the dinosaurs were
right,
around.
dinosaurs.
Woolly mammoths.
But the problem with dinosaurs was that they were mostly ground units, right?
Oh, I thought you were going to say flat Earth deniers, but yeah.
But
dinosaurs are mostly ground units. That's true.
But then a meteor hit the Earth, and they all died and got their angel wings and became birds, right? So
that's right. Yeah.
So once again, flying units.
Flying units, man.
Yeah.
What the most recent Jurassic Park movie where they had that monster in the water that like wasn't even a dinosaur?
Yeah.
That's how far that franchise has gone.
Technically, dinosaurs are only ground units. Like even like pterodactyls and stuff that flew are not technically considered dinosaurs.
What?
Yeah.
What are they considered?
Oh, it's just something else, like pterosaurs, I believe it is. Pterosaurs, if I'm not mistaken. And then same thing. It's like, well, actually, like let's not be idiots. Like we basically call them dinosaurs.
They're
right?
dinosaurs.
But yeah, the flying ones weren't dinosaurs, and the swimming ones weren't dinosaurs.
But the one in Jurassic World or whatever wasn't even a dinosaur. It was like a made-up monster. I'm like, you can't even make a dinosaur movie with a dinosaur
they did
in it?
make up monster ones, yeah. They did make up, yeah. They had to make like a super dinosaur tasteless that could cloak. Because, I mean, whoever made that movie is definitely a Terran player. Because they're like, what? How do we make dinosaurs scarier than the T-Rex?
Yeah.
You're like, make it invisible. It's like, but if I don't have detection, you'll get me. No!
That's even scarier.
That is scarier.
Let me tell you something, man. I thought it was pretty cool when Chris Pratt came out and was able to click and talk to those dinosaurs. I was like, this guy knows something about velociraptors.
Dude, yeah, he was a great trainer.
Did you see he's gonna be Mario?
I definitely did see that,
yeah.
yes.
You had the same weird reaction as everybody else when they saw the cast coming out, where it's like...
Well, I mean, it's not going to be live action, right?
No, but I mean, when I just saw each character, I was like, am I on drugs? This just feels so weird.
Well, he looks like a guy who's actually played a lot of video games, tasteless. So.
He does.
Yeah, so I'm happy for him. He's probably like, oh, damn, I'm going to be Mario?
Jack Black as Luigi. Or not Luigi, as Bowser, excuse me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, no, that's not the right casting call right there.
I think you would make a great Waluigi, to be honest. If you just screw the mustache
I know,
back,
yeah.
you would be an excellent Waluigi.
Oh.
I might be an okay Wario, but you would definitely be a good Waluigi.
No, I would be a solid Waluigi. Most worthless character ever made in any game. All right, so it is another Stargate opener. Second gate at the wall. Oracle's coming out across the map. Not really sure where this one will end up going, since he did not open with that Void. All those Stargate Void Ray openers were to make sure that that Spore was a little late and he got those 2 drops.
That's right. It's finally all led up to this moment.
Well, Spores being made. Queens as well. Third Oracle coming up. And third Nexus. Excuse me, very, very quickly.
Again, we don't really see the intentions yet of the Protoss, but just knowing how Zest plays, he's going to be doing something pretty sharp coming out here, intended to, again, trip up the Zerg and either kill him or cripple him so we can kill him off later on.
Yeah, he's got 3 Oracles right now, and he's getting those additional gases, so we're going to see his tech choice in a second. I imagine we're going to see, like, Twilight Forge Robo coming up, but, like, is it going to be a Glaives build? Like, he has a fair amount of Adepts. If he's going to go pressure with these Adepts right now, does he follow that with Glaives? I'm feeling Blink here for some reason.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that, actually. That could be, for sure, yeah.
I'm not
He's going for the Spore here,
sure
too.
of it. Blink builds haven't been that popular lately.
Wait, did he kill the Spore?
No.
Oh, okay.
Adept's trying to kill Spore that has 4 Queens around it. It's like, oof.
Nice force field there. Going to buy a little bit more time. And these Lynx can't do much of anything right now. Is
another Oracle coming up, Tasteless. Ah, yeah, the Queen's coming across.
Okay, hold on. How much does Protoss actually have?
Well, he's about to have 4 Oracles, which actually will power down Queens relatively quickly, and I'm sure he's making batteries.
And it's only 4 Queens coming. Oh, he actually faked it out.
Yeah, he's turning around.
Faked us out, too. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of...
But it did force out 5 batteries here.
Yeah, he'll cancel, though, I think. He just scouted them all running away. Probably leave, like, 1, 2, I guess he's going to leave. He's got a lot of Oracles, man. Do you remember that little brief period of time where every Protoss was going Mass Oracle and killing Mass Hydra with it? Wasn't that fun?
That was a weird time.
Yeah. I didn't even believe that it was actually happening when it was happening.
Okay, stops the Stasis Ward.
Spire coming up. Okay.
As Blink is researched here for Protoss.
Ah, it is a Blink one. Okay. Fake Immortal coming across the map. Look at this.
Whoa.
How tricky.
Seed.
Wow, that's a blast from the past. That's a GSL champion we all forgot.
Yep. So the push is going to come out. Oh, he sees it right away. He's like, you fibber. So they've both been trying to fake each other out. Lots of bluffs here.
And the Oracle's going to fly in some Queens there. Unfortunately, does end up losing one. Spire's going to be finishing relatively soon here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he actually saw the Spire with that tag, unfortunately. He actually, I mean, he could go pretty heavy Muta here, right?
I would think so. He could. He doesn't have that much gas banked up, but that might be a good tech route to take. Oh, that one had a painful death. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that drone really loved life.
Yeah. Okay, stop that one too. And here are the mutas, like you were saying, Artosa. 7 are being produced.
Yeah. And, well, with the double Robo and the Colossus/Disruptor tech on the way, a lot of times games like this can turn into base trades. It's really unclear if that's how it's going to go. It kind of matters more on Rogue than on Zest. Like, if he goes really for a lot of mutas, then that's where you're more likely to see it. Yeah, okay, there come the Banelings. I don't believe he has Baneling speed, does he?
Oh, I don't think he does, no.
Okay. Because definitely, like, when someone's going mass stalkers, you do want to get the Baneling speed out. Okay, Muta's flying by.
Oh, nice blink. He's going to get just one Muta. There's another wave of stalkers being warped in over here. They come with blink right out of the box, Artosis. Isn't that nice?
Shouldn't you have to upgrade blink on each individual stalker?
Should it start with the cooldown off and then come up? Shouldn't it be like a batteries not included unit? This is not fair.
Baneling speed is on the way. A lot of Lings being produced. The Mutas didn't do anything except kind of force more stalkers.
Yeah.
Which, that in and of itself can be useful. But look at this. He's going into carrier tech now. This is an interesting path for Zest.
I will tell you, the carrier tech I was not expecting.
Yeah, like Blink, Disruptor, like it's kind of solid. Into carrier. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to think about this unit set. It's kind of fun though. Okay, +1 air attacks. More Stargates.
Yeah, I don't think Protoss wants to actually attack out here, but getting another base on this map is not going to be easy either. The next logical base for Protoss to take is just to keep going up on the map on the right side, but that 5th base area is pretty far away. And I don't know, I feel like Zerg sets up pretty comfortably here into the late game, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Like, Zest's composition here is actually incomplete. It looks kind of nifty, and it's kind of like, it's a comp that you would see like earlier, quicker pushes with. I think defensively it can do reasonably well, but yeah, he definitely can't attack on a creep with it. Like, he would need a lot of Archons with it or something like that. Okay, let's see if he can actually hit a good disruption hit. Okay, that's a pretty decent one on the Banelings.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. The natural base is going to get obliterated, I think, down here at the bottom. I mean, right now the army can't get here to try to defend. Oh, man, those biles.
Yeah, the Banelings are about to come out, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
dude,
that was sick.
So nicely done.
That was sick. He, like, trapped a bunch there, and now his carrier's out, so he will end up holding on. But he lost the Nexus, and he lost 18 probes there as well, so definitely took some serious damage. It's hard to fight against that with this army. It's kind of an incomplete comp. But as carriers are coming out, carriers themselves are almost a complete comp. So,
yeah,
you know, he's definitely, his army's going to pack more punch now. Quite a few Corruptors being made.
Now, I do feel that right now the position that Zest is in is just going to be, like, he's surviving, but I don't see him continuing to grow that much more. You know what I mean? Like, he's reclaiming the bottom center, but I think economically Zerg could just power up and strike that area over and over and over again, you know? And, you know, the way this map's shaped, first of all, like, Zerg is probably going to be able to take the upper right, but Zerg can also take the bottom left here. There's a lot of spots that Zerg can easily keep growing into, and basically if this game is one where the attention is mostly going to be on this 6 o'clock base. Oh!
Yeah, not a bad hit. This is kind of reminding me of an older parting game from like a while back, but hold on, we actually have another attack in. He uses that disruptor hit once again, and the Corruptors are doing a good job here against carriers. Void Ray's coming down though to try to help.
Yeah, basically Zerg's okay trading not even favorably to just diminish the overall carrier number.
But yeah, I guess the funny thing about this composition that we see Zest going into, he doesn't really have Psy Storming, he doesn't have Archons, like just no Templar tech at all, which means that the Lings and Banes are a little bit hard to deal with, and also means that you have no splash for clumped up Corruptors, so the Corruptors are just going to do better than they normally would.
Oh my god, this counter is sick.
Yeah, that's a lot of Lings getting in here.
Yeah, and actually it's a pretty big deal losing that air attack upgrade.
Yeah.
A lot of this is all kind of hinged on having an extremely strong air army.
Well, look, he actually overcharged to try to save it, but he doesn't have enough units here, maybe? Oh, no, he does save it.
He does.
Damn, man,
Big save.
That's quality right there. Look at that, he's going to top up the shields on everything before it runs out. Beautiful. That's a big deal, though, like you said. Like, he was almost done +2. That's a long upgrade.
So Zerg is basically gearing up for the next attack. We've got 6 more Corruptors coming. Some more Banes being made as well. Mind you that Zest is not actually maxed out here, so he's still basically in that building up phase, but it does seem like he has plans to push out, and he's not, you know, it should be noted that the creep spread is so insane that there's not even a base that he can easily push to that's far away from creep.
Yeah, that's true. Coming out here once again. I feel like the big thing missing from his army right now, Tasteless, is Archons and Psystorm. Like, okay, we see some High Templars finally being warped in. Yeah, he does have a couple Archons underneath that army now as well. That is very, very important to fight against the Corruptors, to fight against the Banelings. You know, anytime Zerg is making a lot of Banelings, you really do need those Archons in there. Okay. But, okay, like, Zest has 4 bases. He's maxed out. He has a super strong army. He's filled it out very, very well. But he doesn't normally play this portion. Let's see if it works out for him. He turns on his Voids as the Corruptors come in. Does he actually have enough here? Biles being launched and actually connecting.
Oh my God, the Biles are insane. Especially when you have you know, this much ground and this much air. The Biles connect pretty nicely, but still,
yeah,
the Protoss is able to push. The question now is, what is Zerg going to make behind that attack? Now that everything's done, Zealot's coming in here hitting drones. I wish we had the production tab open, because that's really the only thing I care about right now.
Well, I already knew about that, Tasteless, when you said they were manufacturing units, life forms, Tasteless.
GG says takes it!
Nice!
Yes!
Nice! Yes!
Yeah!
Yes! I knew if I cheered hard enough, he would win! Okay, that's pretty sick from Zest.
I can't believe that.
Yeah,
that
was a very different game, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of little subtle things going on back and forth there, but a pretty insane recovery. And Rogue, I mean, look, he might lose today.
There is that possibility, Tasteless, as we go into set 7.
No commercials. Now you guys are in on the secret of how the show works. Only commercials after game 2 and 4.
Yeah. Well, after game 7, we're going to go on a very long commercial until Thursday.
6:30 p.m. KSTC there.
2,000 atmospheres. Who do you think takes it?
Oh, I want Zest to take it so badly.
I know, me too. That would be amazing.
Rogue
I would love to finally have a 3-time GSL Protoss champion. That would be awesome.
It would be very welcome. And by the way, Zest surviving and winning in a long game against Rogue, that's crazy. Guys, game 7 is up. Let's go.
GSL Season 3, Codex.
Are there 2 probes being sent out?
Dragon Phoenix.
No, never mind. I got too excited. I'm like, oh my God, what is he doing? So the same thing he did every game Tasteless. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Is he going to steal both the gases? No, Tasteless, that's definitely not
what
he's going to do.
Then he would have to take the gases at the other space that he takes.
Yeah. All right. Drone comes out, just walks past, knowing that he can't get it there. Takes it at the 3rd location. What does Zest have saved here for game 7?
And let's not forget, you know, Rogue does rush. He is actually a pretty cheesy Zerg.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a chance that Rogue does something kind of insane. But so far, Zest has absolutely held his own. He's even against Rogue here. This is turning out to be an awesome best of 7. I'll tell you guys, I think a lot of you were on the same page as Artosis and me before this started, where we thought this probably will be a wash, where Rogue will play a pretty forgettable series where he just dominates.
Well, I think this is one of the closest best of 7s he's ever played. Like, he actually dominates most of his best of 7s.
He usually wins 4-2, 4-1,
yeah.
and 4-0.
Yeah. Like, look at his last finals against Maru. Oh my God. You would think Maru would have a close series against him. No.
No.
Anything but there.
No. Maru's like, oh no, Ravagers, and just loses the series.
Are those roaches? What are
those roaches?
Oh my God.
What did you turn your roaches into? 4-1.
I think he's going to do a Stargate opener because he's done only one non-Stargate opener. And honestly, for like non-Stargate openers, what do we have right now? We have Glaive builds.
We got to change Zest's name to Stargar.
Stargar.
It's his Protoss name. Stargar.
I understand the star part. The Gar part, is that just like
it's like
caveman
like
Ooga Booga?
Like I thought it kind of sounded like some kind of Battlefield Earth name.
Yeah.
I'm Stargar.
That's yeah.
You will tremble when my Stargate warps in.
All right, the Stargate is on the way. Overlord just watching, making the build look pretty much exactly the same. Definitely big preps to that planning aspect.
Yeah, a lot of thought went into this best of 7 from Zest here.
That move, by the way, where you shade and then run up the ramp, and so the Overlord doesn't know if the Adept is on the map. Always like to see that. Just little bits of information that you're screwing up for your opponent, because a lot of times what'll happen is they have 2 Lings on the side, and if you shade out, the Lings run in. So he waits at the top of the ramp to see if the Lings will come.
Well, you know, a big part of being a pro at this game is data collection.
Yeah.
And trying to see what they're doing.
Or not collecting
I'm like,
data.
they're like Facebook, you know? No, but seriously, like, you're trying to look for anything that's happening on the map. Be like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. And I'll tell you, man, Zest is getting ready to just destroy Rogue with fake news.
Look, tasteless. It's just Zest just has alternative facts.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
So, all right, sets up his Adept for that Nexus. Down it goes. So it is a Void Ray into Oracle. Let's see what he makes after the Oracle. Is it a second Oracle or a Void Ray? Or does he just stop there? Ooh, +1 air weapons, but the Ling caught an eye on that, I think, before it ran the other direction. Oracle comes down. Not too bad. Oh, 4 kills.
Oh my God! I thought he was going to lose it. I thought he was going to lose it for sure.
Yeah, it felt like he was going to just barely lose it there. Queen a little bit too far away, I guess. Okay, Forge on the way. It does look like a pretty committed double Void Ray. Excuse me, double Stargate Void Ray opener. Robo coming up, so it might be like one of these middling amount of Void Rays. Can't quite get that Stasis Ward down. There it is on the way.
So there's the 4th for the Zerg. Now with the 2 Stargates continuing to pump out Void Rays. Keep in mind, last time we had, you know, that game in Game 2 where basically Rogue tried to abruptly end the game by sandbagging the 3rd base for the Protoss, but he went for the 2-gate Void Ray and lived. This time we're panning it out into a pretty normal game. As far as, like, Zerg is not trying to do anything crazy to end it.
Yeah.
Protoss is still teching out. It doesn't look like there's any kind of special weird attack that's intended to trip up the Zerg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so adding in that Disruptor tech, Overlord's speed is going to be finishing up, so he'll definitely dive an Overseer in, I would say, as that finishes. I think you need to get some sort of intel on what's being made in there. As far as he knows, it's 3 Stargate right now. Okay, here comes that Overseer. Very high quality scout. One of the notable things is the Forge is not spinning right now. Obviously, spotting a double Stargate is really important. Fleet Beacon has been made. It looks like he might be building I think he's going to go for some Disruptors here.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fine choice.
Huh. Well,
by the way, this is going to be, if Zest wins this is going to be the most epic of upsets because he's going to have beaten Rogue for the 2nd time in a drawn-out ZVP, in a macro game.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, Zest is not really, you know, your go-to guy for, you know, macro PvZ or macro that much anything. A lot of his games are very sharp and set up very nicely. But that would be just such a crazy twist.
Yeah. Okay, this is incredibly cool. Like, he has only utilized the Robo for observers so far, kind of spotting incoming scouts, and he's clearing creep with Void Rays.
Look at that. He's upgrading Protoss shoulder pads.
He's getting the shoulder pads.
He's
wow.
Shoulder pad upgrade.
Oh, wow. I thought that was improved DT sides.
Yeah.
Half of your DTs
That's
get
right.
a bonus. But you're right, that is shoulder pads.
He's getting flux veins is what it's called.
Yeah. Great upgrade. Great name.
Yeah. Some of the upgrades in StarCraft are just, I look at that, I'm like, well, that doesn't
Who
tell us.
named these?
Yeah, it's like, well, what do we call it? Flux veins? I'm like,
well, you know, like the flux capacitor
Yeah.
from Back to the Future. So that's fast. 88 miles per hour is fast. Okay.
and veins, you know,
Yeah.
like stuff moves through 'em, you know?
Yeah. Protoss have veins.
Yeah. Do
They're
they?
just different.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Okay, 84 probes against 84 drones. Actually recalls that Oracle. Keep that thing alive. Continuing to upgrade. A lot of corruptors being added in. I think right now the thing I was most fascinated with was this Robo. And he's making some disruptors, which we've seen a lot of people toy with disruptors with this type of composition. We've seen Parting do it a lot. There was a lot of thought about this countering infestors for quite some time. Obviously, it does very well if you're going mass queens, which he is kind of doing. So if he has like 1 or 2 disruptors out against these queens, that chunks them down so much they have to transfuse at that point.
Okay, here we go. No scopes the Overseer.
Ooh. All right, they run away. The Void Rays have already been turned on, so they're not going to have that extra bonus damage. That is a lot of corruptors. This is a Corruptor Queen attack.
This is wild.
Yeah. Now, where is that disruptor? Here it is. Here it is. This is an important disruptor shot.
Here we go. The disruptor.
Where is it?
Oh!
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think he could have hit it a little bit better, though. Only hits like a couple queens there.
It's 2 of them.
Yeah, now look at this. The overcharged battery really helping out here.
But there's so many corruptors that the battery can't match it.
Yeah, their damage output is so fast, and not quite enough anti-ground for those queens either. Now
Wow,
coming in
this
and
is-
just nailing everything. This is forcing Stalker Warpins.
Yeah, and there's going to be so much destruction to the infrastructure here in the main. But, you know, Zest hasn't really lost. I mean, he's lost his composition here, but he does still have, you know, the 4 bases that are up. He does continue to gather resources on the map.
And from here, you have a lot of corruptors. So obviously Greater Spire is a smart move here from Rogue.
Right.
But for a little bit, those corruptors don't do much, do they?
Yeah, I mean, they could barf on buildings, but
That's
yeah,
about it.
you have a lot of supply that's basically in these units that can't really be utilized in any kind of truly efficient way.
Yeah, I think it's too bad for Zest that he didn't already have Blink done, because I think he'd have an opportunity here to get across the map and do some real damage. Now, 3 Robos on the way. Oh, this is so interesting. As Roach Ravager comes across, I guess he just wants to really beef up his ground-pounding army. Dude, what a strange game we're getting into right now. Yeah, that's a very decent hit right there. Another one. Beautiful. Corruptor's still looking for targets. Stalkers being warped in, chasing them down. Corruptor's such a funny unit. Greater Spire's done. And there aren't really any flying units here, so you're going to have to end up clearing this with Blink Stalkers. Oh man, those Robos are going to have a hard time, Tasteless. 4 Robos pumping out Immortals.
This is a pretty sizable ground army. Now, the Broodlords are being morphed right at 12 o'clock, almost exactly. And so they can't come down here to protect the bases at the southern part of the map. I mean, Protoss is just going to power through this, and all these spines are being made too late. And look, he's going to destroy those Robos, but I think the Robos have already served their purpose.
Well, he got out a good amount of Immortals. He can bring those down. He has plenty right here. Ooh, those Biles actually doing fantastically. Throws out some more. Oh my God, the Disruption Ball's doing so well. Immortals finally kind of making it down here. Might he need to bring the Immortals down? It seems like it's just a base trade at the moment.
I couldn't agree more. And he's beginning to tear it up down there at the bottom of the map. And look, frankly, the Broodlords, as devastating as they are not dealing damage as quickly as the army of Zest here in the south.
Yeah, and I mean, he uses the Corruptors as much as he can, but there's a pretty significant cooldown on that ability. So the Stalkers, Zealots, Immortals are starting to kill the base of Rogue.
I think that Zest is going to win this game.
You might be right about that.
He just has these Broodlords. And look, he's actually trying to move them. He realizes he's never going to win the base trade.
Yeah, he can't beat this army without his Broods.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And even with his Broods, he might not be able to.
Yeah.
Okay, these Corruptors have some heavy lifting to do.
He needs to basically ooze down these 2 mining bases, but I think it's too late. I think the army has already been produced.
Between batteries and cannons, I don't think it's doable. Oh God, the one Void Ray forces the Corruptors out of his base as well. Really nice.
There's going to be just one base left. And the thing is, maybe the Broodlords can come over there and defend that, but who cares as far as Zest is concerned? He can just keep expanding on the map and close the game out on his own terms.
This is crazy right now. Okay, the Corruptors go back to Zest space, killing off what they can.
Yeah, and he's going to go for the gateways.
That is so many Stalkers.
Dude, I think there's so many Stalkers that he could just blink underneath these Broodlords.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Okay, he does have
Here
these
we go.
Infestors, but not the energy as of yet. Trying to get in here, but a lot is blocking him. Oh my God, insane hit right there. Blinks forward, and it looks like Zest is gonna go to the finals and beat Rogue for the first time ever in a best of 7.
Unreal. This is one for the history books, folks. The last base of Zest is going down, and there is nothing that Rogue can do about it.
Yeah, Rogue has just nothing left over here. GG. And Zest has done it. He is the first person ever to beat Rogue in a best of 7.
That was insane. I was actually so excited that like when he was going down, his last base of Zest was going down. Yeah, Rogue has been wiped. He's been eliminated, and I'll tell you what, Zest did it in a macro game. Rogue made a very specific decision to tack into Broodlords, and Zest, very decisively pushed into the south. Wiped out those bases, and the Broodlords are not going to do the kind of damage that many Stalkers, Immortals, and Disruptors can do. And so there it is, Zest in the finals, and Rogue is eliminated in the round of 4 of Season 3 of GSL.
What a crazy series this was. Zest in a real position to make the all-time record for Protoss success in GSL Codas. Amazing series.
Truly an incredible best of 7, man. One I am never going to forget. That was so crazy. Let's go to that interview. Let's see how Zest is feeling.
At last, Rogue's 0-loss best of 7 record is broken by Zest. He moves on to the finals. Congratulations, Zest. Thank you. Well, sincere congratulations, Zest. This is your GSL finals in 3 years. How do you feel? Well, I didn't know it's been 3 years already. Time surely flies. I didn't know it's been 3 years. So this is your GSL finals. This is your 4th GSL finals. And beating Rogue in the best of 7, I think this has a special meaning for you, Zest. And you did lose him twice in the finals. And you always lost him in big tournaments. So, revenge had to be taken for you. So, how do you feel today? Yeah, every important moment I lost to Rogue. And that time, Rogue always won in the end, and I was really, I really envied him. So I did want to get my revenge against him, and today I was able to do that. And moreover, Rogue's best of 7 offline record has been broken today, Zest. And in the earlier interview, you showed great confidence. And Stats, TY, they have never been able to beat the record as well. So you're the first player in the world to do this. Well, I had the confidence today, but when I got into the match, I actually made so many mistakes. Even in the last game, I actually built the Nexus in the wrong position. And that was very critical, and I was wondering, but I was hesitating whether I should cancel it or not.
취소하고.
So, you know, I decided to cancel it in the end.
7세트 그 긴박한 순간에
Well, the seventh game was definitely a very, very urgent situation, as it was a 3-3. You were ahead 2-0, and then you ended up getting reverse sweep. I mean, the adepts failed, and the Nidus came in at the perfect timing to defeat you. And things were looking very bleak and dark. So were you shaken at any moment?
제가 좀 느낀 건데 그 잘하는 저그들한테는
You know, I realized today,
뭔가를 준비하면 더
against good Zerg players,
때가 있더라고요.
it's not really that good to prepare really hard. You sometimes just lose
운영 위주로 했던 게 잘 먹거든요.
really in a surprising way.
7세트 그렇게 보여주신 운영으로 힘싸움으로 승리를 거둔
And in the end, you were able to win the match with the macro.
또 수비를 하는 장면이 화제가 되기도
And you were
했어요.
showing good defense today.
그 여왕밖에 괴멸총 올인을 막으셨잖아요.
And you were able to fend off the Queen, Roach.
플레이가 아니라 괴멸총을 먼저 1점차를 하셨는데
And you actually decided to target down the Ravagers first. So what was that about?
초창기에 이 그 전략을 저그들이 되게 많이 했을 때
Well, this strategy was used a lot back in the earlier days by Zerg players.
해야 막을 수 있을까 이거 대업이랑 고민을 많이
And Stats and I used to discuss how to block this.
괴멸총이 핵심 유닛이라.
And we decided, we came to the conclusion that the Ravagers were the problem. And we target the Ravagers first. They are the highest priority.
마지막 6세트와 7세트 완벽한
In the 6th set and the 7th set, you were able to gain the win to win the whole match 4-3.
오늘 풀세트 접전 끝에 GSL 통산 네 번째 결승.
So after a full set match, you now move on to your 4th GSL finals.
결승 상대는 조성호 흑수적이냐, 김도.
And your opponent will be either Cure or Trap, PvP or PvT.
상대 전적이 12대3으로 많이 앞서 계세요.
And you're ahead.
조성호 선수는 박빙입니다.
You're ahead in the head-to-head record against Cure, but you're quite kind of neck and neck with Trap. So who do you want to meet?
그 도욱이랑 8강 때부터 연습을 많이 했고.
Well, I've scrimed against Cure a lot since the round of 8.
때문에 당연히 도욱이를 응원.
So I do root for Cure.
솔직히 누가 올라오든.
And whoever moves on to whoever moves on to finals, I don't really care. So you're saying that the GSL championship is yours, regardless of who your opponent is. Yes, that's right. That's my confidence level right now. I'm sure a lot of your fans are rejoiced to see you move on to the finals.
그냥 팬분들이 제일 생각나고.
You know, first, I miss my fans. I'm sure the fans will be really happy too right now. Before, you used to always mention your parents first. Yes, my parents first and my fans. Alright, how will you perform in the finals of the last season of the GSL this year, Zest? So before you go, anything you want to say? Well, before going to the military, I really wanted to win the GSL. So I will try to win and then move on to the military. Once again, congratulations, Zest. Thank you.
Dude, this night was amazing. I mean, this was really an extraordinary series. The results were insane. I mean, I would have been happy even if Rogue had moved on 4-3. Because I honestly didn't think tonight was going to be close. I thought, okay, Zest maybe takes a game, maybe not even a game. But he came in here with really a full range of different play. You could see the prep was there. Rogue really delivered as well. It wasn't like Rogue floundered in the series at all.
That's true.
But, you know, it's hard to truly stay on top forever, and we saw that here today. And Zest, somebody who, again, like we said at the start of the show, has been on top of the world. He's got his motivation back. You know, he had this kind of success hiatus, or however you want to describe it, but he said he's feeling that motivation. He's hungry. I think the military service being around the corner certainly played a role in that, and he might end up winning in the Season 3, man.
Oh, it is. I think it's more doable against the other guys than it was against Rogue, and he took down Rogue like he said he would. So, yeah, I think Zest has a very good shot at taking down the winner of this next match, Trap against Cure. Trap also looking to tie Zest's new record of 4 GSL finals.
And, you know, Cure has been a bit of a wild card player in this GSL. He could very well be in the finals.
Yes.
He's looking very strong. I think, you know, we have a similar narrative with that we had with Zest and Rogue. We kind of have that with Trap Cure, where Trap has been so dominant. And, you know, he's been just prolific with getting deep in tournaments.
Yeah.
that we kind of expect Trap to move on, but I think today is a healthy reminder that times are always changing.
Yeah, and you know what? Kier has played fantastically. He did a great job there against Parting, but I think you have to bring a very different approach against Trap. So
yeah,
I'm not sure how he's going to solve that puzzle because Trap is just so deadly in the matchup.
Yeah.
But should be a good match, and whoever goes on, I think we're going to have an excellent finals.
It's going to be sick. I'm fine with the PvP, fine with the PvT finals. You know, we've had so much Zerg domination. This is kind of refreshing, and it's cool to see that that Zest played, I think, an even bigger range of play than we've ever really seen him play. He played excellently in the late game.
He did. He did. That was really nice to see.
At the bottom of the screen, a quick reminder, guys. Obviously, we can't have an audience yet. Everybody's close to getting their second shot now for the vaccines out here.
That's true.
And hopefully, I don't know if it's going to happen at Super Tournament or next year. Hopefully, we can have an audience again. But until then, you can submit a cheerful. Those are those signs from the old days when we had audiences that people would show. We'd put them on camera as the games were starting up. Submit that, and we will show it on camera if it's good.
Yeah. And we love what you guys have already shown before.
It's been great.
Like, we've seen some really
funny
fun ones, really epic and cool ones, and players love to see them as well. A lot of these players play because they want to play in front of their fans, and I think the cheerfuls kind of being posted up on the screens around really helps.
Yeah, it's nice that we can still connect with the viewers and these broadcasts that since COVID have been very one way. We don't get to see fans in the studio anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, do that, and let's hope it's the last time we are doing that. I think we are
so.
close to, I think, getting back to normal out here.
Well. We're
then
coming
they're
up
be
on
like,
2 years.
But what about
tasteless.
COVID gamma tasteless? And then that's it. You didn't think of the gamma variant.
Gamma. Oh man, are you a gammer?
What about COVID Omega tasteless? COVID Omega 22.
Yeah. Well, all right. It was a good night. Very much enjoyed it. It's great to
Are
see
you trying
Zest
to end the show right now? We're not done.
I got to close it out, Tasteless.
Master Park has more to say, Artosis.
Yeah. About what though?
He's talking about COVID gamma too, man.
Yeah, he's saying exactly
He's going
the same
off.
thing.
He's fired up.
Yeah, he actually has you in his headset, and then he just translates what
you
say.
What you guys don't know is the Korean casters are they're translating what we're saying into Korean down there. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, no, there's no way they said something that stupid. That's what the fans are thinking.
Yeah. No, this has been a great night. I'm glad it was long, it was epic, and we had such a cool upset.
Yeah. Me too.
Take that, Zergs.
Yeah. By the way, guys, ASL is back. We just had Chuseok. The group selection for the round of 16
Chuseok
is fully
Korean
translated.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Artosis just thanks for interrupting
throwing
me,
words
Tasteless.
out there. He's like, it's chupa chop choop up, and then just goes on talking like they're going to know that necessarily.
So it's chupa chop
Yeah.
But yeah, we have on the Africa TV YouTube channel. You can just click right there. The group selection phase is up.
All translated.
Yep. Group A will be out in a few days. And that's going to be amazing. Yeah, so you got ASL and GSL moving forward. But we only have like a week and 2 days of GSL left.
Yeah.
And then we have a little break until Super Tournament.
We go into a GSL. What is the Amish holiday where they like leave the Rumspringa?
Oh, yeah, Rumspringa. There you go.
GSL Rumspringa.
That's where all the GSL players go out and have lives for a bit and see if they want to return
you guys have to drink
GSL.
and have sex and decide if you want to come back to GSL or not. Yeah. So we're going to go into that time of the year. And
I think they'll all come back.
They'll come back. They'll go out and try stuff in the real world and be like, this isn't for me.
No.
That's all the time we have, guys. We will see you for these day 2 of the round of 4. Love you. Bye-bye.